So I really want to use this video to talk about the struggles and just the mental pressures and really the things that can't be found on the internet when going through fatherhood at such a young age. You gonna be in the video, mama? Huh? You gonna be in the video? Alright. She wanna be in the video, y'all. So I guess this is my coming out party with my daughter. Here she is. Say hi, mommy. This is Noelle. My first child, firstborn. You know what I'm saying? Noelle, Rain, Haygood, my baby. But yeah, with this video, we're just gonna talk about what it was like with hearing the news, first not believing the news, basically getting to the point where there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Life that has occurred over the past couple months, and then how I'm gonna move forward. So first off, when I heard that my baby mama was pregnant, I did not believe her. let's just get it straight right there. I didn't believe her. I didn't believe her. I thought, there's no way, or you're lying. But and this isn't to throw my baby mama under the bus or anything like that. But she did tell me earlier in the pregnancy that she could get an abortion. So I did have kind of like this feeling that it really wasn't going to happen. But then later on in the pregnancy, she changed her mind. And this kind of gave me about a 3-month cushion to tell my family and everything. But my dumb ass, I didn't believe her still. I thought she was lying. I kind of wanted to, I think when you don't want something to be true so much, you kind of start making up stories in your head for what it couldn't be. So obviously I went well, it's not my baby. And this led to paternity testing, which again, this will be a little bit informative too. To get a paternity test when the baby is not here is $1,000, which is insane. Just for it's basically like a blood test of everything. But it's $1,000, so first we have to pull the money in to get that, and we paid for that, and then about a week and a half later, I literally remember where I was. I was on my lunch break, and I had just walked in to get some food, and the paternity test place, they called me. I pick it up. I'm like, what's up? They're like, oh, is this Ryan? Hey, good. Yeah, it's Ryan. What's the, do you have time to talk? I'm like, yeah, I got time to talk. Would you like to know the results of the paternity test? I'm like, yes. And then they said, it is 99.999% your baby or your match. And so tell them thank you, hang up the phone. And honestly, I couldn't even eat because it was, I think it was only a month and a half until she was actually supposed to be born. So it was very quick turnaround. So first thing I do, pick up the phone, call my mom. I had a plan to go to Arizona with my family that weekend. So I called my mom. I'm like, hey, mom, this is what it is. And I hadn't told my dad yet. And I want to make sure I tell my parents like individually, not they hear it from one another. So we go on a trip to Arizona. We're in Arizona. I go into their hotel room. We drink a little bit. We talking. Sit down. I tell my dad, man, that hey, I got a baby coming on the way. It's a girl. And also I want to give this time to thank my parents because there's the way they handled it and the space they gave me was honestly exactly what I needed. They didn't berate me about how I was dumb for getting this girl pregnant or anything like that. They very accepting, and they honestly just asked me what I was gonna do, and I didn't have a plan at that moment. But I think all I knew was that I was scared. Like I was scared out of my mind to be a dad. I didn't feel like I was ready. I don't think anyone ever felt like they're ready to be a dad, but it was just it was overwhelming, because of the idea that this isn't something that happens and you get over it. This is the rest of my life, you know? She's always going to be looking at me saying, this is my dad, this is who I look to for guidance, this is the person who will basically like lead me into the direction that I should go. And the amount of pressure in that moment it's very intense. But so tell my parents all that happens, and you know, the next month and a half is actually very chill. You know, you just spend time with my baby mama, and you're just trying to get ready for what's coming. You know, you buy your little baby stuff, but you know, I think that all that's kind of like irrelevant. That's all. It's a money thing. But when it was time for her to come, delivery room, I think a lot of people have this like it's gonna be a movie when you get in there, and it's like not. Like it's weird because it's so normal until the time she comes. Like it's very just it's like any other doctor's appointment. You feel like you know, you're just getting ready. The timing never really feels like it's approaching until all the nurses come in, all the doctors come in, and you literally watch your child be born. And I think a lot of people, I want to say this to get, I want to say this to get people to understand that and maybe I can't speak for women, I'll speak for men. This overwhelming feeling of like love to your child, I don't think it doesn't need to automatically be there. Because like when she was born, I looked at her and I was just like, this is weird. Like it wasn't like I'm in love with my baby and I'll do anything for her right when I seen her. It was more like, oh my God, this is like weird. Like this is my kid. Like it wasn't a, you know, people say love at first sight. I wouldn't say it was that at all. It was more like, oh my God, this is like the person I'm with. But when you do look at her or you look at your child, it's a very surreal thing to realize like this is mine. Like, look at her, mama. Look at the camera. This right here is mine forever. She gonna look at me for everything. It's crazy. But so yeah, and then all that stuff is I say it's very. You kind of realize after that first initial day that life literally just goes on. Like you have your day and you have maybe a day or two at the hospital, but then after that, no one really cares you had a baby. Your job doesn't care you have a baby. The world literally just keeps moving. The world does not stop because you had a child. So you have to basically get yourself back into gear with this extra person that you have to bring everywhere with you. And so then that basically leads me on to the next 3 months and the real meat of what I want to talk about in this video. Having her with me, as said earlier, I went from let's just talk about what happened to me. I gained 70 pounds since she was here. I gained 70 pounds. I had lost a lot of money. Getting ready for her to come here, providing her a place to stay outside of my parents' house. I bought my own apartment, all basically in preparation for her to be here. And so all these sacrifices I took for my child was really weighing on me. And you would think that like, well, you understand what it is, so it wouldn't weigh on you so hard. But it caused me to fall into a depression of, I say 3 to 4 months, where all I felt like I wanted to do was sleep, eat, and that was really it. Like I didn't want to. I was spending time with her, but it wasn't as quality time as I thought. I didn't really enjoy like talking to her when she first got here. Like I would talk to her, but it wasn't something I would like come home and really talk, because I just didn't get it. I was like, she's just a baby. Like that's just my baby. I didn't have this feeling of of like, hi, how you doing, checking in on her. Like, it was just kind of like I just took care of her, but I wasn't saying I was pouring into her the way I should have. So, but again, there's no, especially as a man, I don't think there's no one really talking about how to get ready for a man to have a child. It's like the only person I talk to is my dad, but it's already so regular for men to not really know what to do with babies or to just kind of leave them to their mom, which I knew I wasn't really gonna. I could do a little bit, but I knew I wasn't really gonna be able to do too much because me and my baby mama aren't together. So it kind of left me a little empty on the inside. I didn't know what to do, and that emptiness and this sense of purpose that kind of changed from, becoming someone, basically becoming something completely independent of another person to becoming something great for another person. It changed my whole life and changed my whole mental state, which I wasn't really ready for, and so it just broke me down, and I had no real foundation anymore. That's what I would say. I had no foundation for, where to go. I had no drive because it felt like I was walking on like sand, and it's like you kind of try to pick up, like I said earlier, you try to pick up earlier from like what your life was, but it's not the same. You can't just go out when you want to go out. You can't just reset when you want to do something. Everything has to go through. So if I do this, who's watching her? If I go here, how is she gonna eat here? If I spend this amount of money to take this time off, how is it gonna affect her? If I don't work today, how am I gonna have the money to afford the food she needs, the clothes that she needs? It changes it just changes your priorities, and that can really just shift you so much to the point where you're not even the same person. And what really got me out of that, like what got me out of being just a father, was realizing I can't be just her dad and be a good dad. I need to be me. I need to be shy. I need to be the man I am so I can give her the energy that naturally comes from me. Because I am a father, but I'm also me. I don't know. I have no other way. I don't know how to explain that any better. But I think when you get so focused on just the baby, I need to just. You're not really. It's like you're now the baby isn't. You're not developing a relationship with your baby. Your baby isn't getting to know you. Your baby is getting to know the work that you do. You know what I'm saying? And that's not what you want. You want to have an actual relationship where you feel like she knows you. She knows your personality. She can tell your tone of voices. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the little things that can't really happen if you're just solely focused on getting the job done. And that's what I was doing when I first got here. I was only focused on getting the job done. So I wasn't focused on working out or doing what's better for me or looking good or anything like that. I was focused on taking care of my child. And that led to such a deficiency of everything else in my life that I couldn't even take care of her the way I was supposed to. And I think it damaged the relationship between me and my baby mama a little bit because I wasn't myself, and some resentment kind of forms there when you know you're not being yourself, and it damaged that relationship. And it actually all came to a pinnacle when I was at her second doctor's appointment, and my baby mom was sitting there, and the doctor asked, and it's so funny because it's really not even a hard question. The doctor asked, does she know the sound of your voice? And I was like, oh, I don't think so. But my baby mom was like, yeah. Like if I say her name, she comes, she turns her head, she does all this. You hear me talking, man? I'm being rude. I'm being rude. But when I realized like this isn't a job. This is my daughter. This is the person who I am and the person who I will become, basically next person. Like this isn't a job to me. This is a relationship that I have to build. That if I'm so focused on work or money or other things, that I won't be there. She won't know me. I'll just be a figure to her. I won't be an actual person. And so in that one aspect, it changed me, and it literally led me to realizing I need to be who I was before she was here and just make adjustments with her in my life. I think a lot of people say you need to change your whole life around your baby. I completely disagree with that, because then you always have that feeling of, well, my baby's just a sacrifice, when it's not. This is literally my dog. Like, this is my best friend for real. And when you just have that mindset of I'm just sacrificing, doing whatever I can for my baby, you don't really get to build that relationship with her or with whoever, whatever the gender of your baby is. You don't get to build that with them, and they don't get to know you, and you're gonna miss out on a lot of things in the future. So now moving forward, and I'm still a young dad. She's only 7 months old. I'm only 7 months into this. So I'm not a pro yet, but going forward, I realized that the best thing I can do for my daughter or for my children is to be the best me and the realest me and the most responsible me. Even though it's about her, it's still about me. It's still about producing something in my life that I can be proud of and that she can also be proud of. So I feel like the more I am myself, the more I am in good shape, the more I am doing things that make me happy, the more she'll be happy, because she can feel my energy. She can feel what I'm giving off to her, and then she'll also know herself that she can be herself as well. She doesn't need to, I don't need to hide myself from my daughter, and she won't need to hide herself from me. Ain't that right, Mama? You got something to say? Yeah? You like that? But this is just this video here is for all the young fathers. For all the young me's, upcoming fathers, older fathers, I think, we need to understand that as a man, it's your job to lead the household and to sacrifice as well. But you cannot be you. You cannot be the best father you can be without also being yourself, without being the man that you naturally are. You got any last words for Mama? Nobody's seen you before. I didn't post you on no socials, no nothing. Nobody know what you look like. It's going to be the first time somebody see what you look like, Mama. Alright, y'all. It's from TDR Shy, man. We got a lot more content coming out. Please like and subscribe to watch the journey of, me being me, as well as also me being her father as well. We're on the road to, let's say fuck 100, man. We should get to 100 pretty quick. We're on the way to 1K subscribers, man. Let's get there. Let's push it. Let's go hard. Appreciate y'all, man. And please support.